But yeah, so how I got started, I haven't told my story in a while, but it's been 5 years, so it's a little bit of memory. But I was 210 pounds after I had my daughter, and we were living paycheck to paycheck, barely making it by. My husband was working nights, weekends, constantly working, and I had this new baby, and I was sick and tired of the way I looked in the mirror, and I just wanted to have my energy back. So I kept seeing this lady on Facebook talking about health and fitness and Beachbody, and I watched her for like an entire year. And then my husband did a raffle for his photography business, and he was like, who on your Facebook has a huge following? Because we could pretend like we picked her name out of the raffle and we could do like this free photo shoot for her. And that was Leslie Cordes, who is a 15 star as well. So we did her family photos, and I was like just enamored by her. She was smiling, she was energetic, she just had this giant necklace on, and I was like, she just shined, she just glowed. And I was like, I want to be more like that. At that time, my diet consisted of, like bottle of red wine and chocolate candy like every day. So I was just kind of like a worn down version of myself, and so she was somebody I was very attracted to as far as friendship goes. So on Facebook, you can actually pick people that you want to follow, like the important people for you, and she just so happened to be one of my 5. I had my mom, my husband, my best friend, cousin, and Leslie Cordes. And I had like 300 Facebook friends, but she was just somebody I got up every morning to check her Facebook posts. So after a year of her approaching me and then me approaching her, I finally decided to become a coach. I did that for the discount. I did Chalene Extreme. I lost, 30 pounds with Chalene Extreme, and then I lost another 30 with the original Insanity. And then I lost, another 10 with Turbo Fire, and then I became a Turbo Kick instructor. And so as far as the business is concerned, I kept sharing authentically my journey and sharing with people, that I love this. And sorry I'm shaking, but I get really nervous talking in front of you. But I started to just it was natural for me to have a successful business because I was having success in my own health and fitness. And so if you are having success with something, you naturally want to share it with people. So I just kept sharing and sharing, and then they came out with challenge groups. And this was 5-6 years ago, they started coming out with challenge groups, and I said, okay, I'm gonna run one. I ran my first one, I made a $30 paycheck that week, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And my why became, I'm gonna buy a pair of boots. And then the following week, it was like $60, and I got all the way to $100. I was like, oh my gosh. And then I remember going to $0, and I was like, well, shoot, I didn't do anything that week. And so I thought, okay, if I just stayed committed to this business, did the vital behaviors every day, was consistent, because I read The Compound Effect, and if I was consistent enough, something would compound and I would get somewhere with this. And anything was better than my full-time job. So I actually was selling real estate for a builder, and I hated it. I drove an hour a day to work, and then I would drive an hour back, and I worked weekends, nights. My daughter was in daycare like full-time plus. Like we didn't even have a daughter at that point, and that really, really hurt me. I was devastated that I never saw her. So I thought, okay, if I just treat this Beachbody business like my job, then I should see some sort of success. Anything was better than that job, and if I could just match that income, I could be with my daughter, and that became my new why. And what really drove me to make this serious commitment was I went to Target, and I've told the story a million times, but it's my favorite story. I went to Target, filled up my cart with groceries. My daughter was sitting in the front seat. She was doing the typical thing our kids do in Target, scream and cry. And I was like, oh my God, we have to get out of here. And so we're in the checkout line, and she's bawling her eyes out. And the clerk says to me, your card was declined. And I was like, oh my God, what? And our bank account, when it overdrafts, it takes from our savings account. And so if it didn't work, that means I had nothing in savings. And I was like, what is going on? I checked the ATM in Target, and we were $0. And I didn't have gas in my car. And so I was like, okay, I have to put back all the groceries. And I was devastated and embarrassed, and my daughter was screaming, and I had to look at her and be like, we have to go with nothing, no food, no diapers. And I went home and I was like, Eric, we're backed against a wall, we're broke, we're living paycheck to paycheck, I can't do this anymore. And so within that day, from that day to about 7 or 8 months, I don't know how I did it. I just nose to the ground, worked my butt off, worked consistently, did whatever I could. So I would go to work. Actually, I'd get up at 4 a.m. and I would work my Beachbody business until about 7. Then I would get my daughter ready, hustle to work my Beachbody business during my lunch break, and then I would work my Beachbody business from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. And my husband agreed at that time. He's not here, but he's the reason I'm successful at this. He would watch her for me, which is miraculous, and I still thank him to this day. I looked at him with tears in my eyes and I said, I have to make this work. This is our only option. And I promise you, I will do whatever it takes to get us out of the situation we're in. And he agreed and did everything he could to take care of her besides breastfeed her. So I did that. I would breastfeed her and be like, okay, back to this team call. But he knew, he believed in me, he believed in the vision of Beachbody, I believed in the vision of Beachbody, and I believe that's why I've had success, because I'm just a walking, talking billboard for the opportunity, for Shakeology, for our programs. And and I was telling my team, even if my income bottomed out and I did not make the money I make now, I would still be a Beachbody coach. And I tell everybody this on my team, that a lot of coaches get to that 2-year mark and they're like, I just can't do it anymore, I'm not making enough money. I've been a coach for 5 years. The income did not come overnight. It took me a year and a half, 2 years of like consistent nose to the ground work and a dream and a mission to get out of, we were in a painful situation, and it became so painful that I had to make Beachbody work. So it took me almost 2 years to have like real solid success and to make any profit. I reinvested everything I made in my first 2 years back in my business. And a lot of people don't realize that. I spent every dime I made on going to Summit, buying cute dresses for Summit, the hotel for Summit, and then ads. I hired somebody to watch my daughter. So as soon as I left my job, I knew right away I had to hire a nanny. I was like, okay, I have to invest in a nanny. So she would come to my house for a couple hours and babysit. And then I ran out of money, so I signed up for a YMCA membership. And I got the 2-hour watch, and I was able to put my daughter in the 2-hour watch and hustle for 2 hours, get her back out, put her down for a nap, hustle for another 2 hours. And I was able to raise her at home and work my Beachbody business. So I left my job, then I matched my husband's income, tripled that income, and then we both left. And we both stayed home. So that's kind of our story. And I feel like a grandma coach after hearing like 2 years. And so yeah, my biggest tip to you is just stay like epically consistent. Don't get distracted by all the pretty things out there. Like there's all kinds of Instagram shout outs you can do and all these different ways of marketing, and yes, those are great, but if you can just become like a robot and just like epically good at the vital behaviors, that's the goal of a coach. How can I become gooder at inviting to a challenge group, recognizing the people that mean something to me, personal development, adding to your network. You just have to be super laser focused on making sure those vital behaviors and the daily to-do list that your coach gave you, I promise you, if you just implement that every day and you just figure out every day, how can I research to be better at every single one of those things, then you're going to find success. How can I invite more people? I will be honest with you, I've never invited 5 people a day. I have invited 50 to 100 a day. And that came from being epically good at adding to my network. I had to figure out, okay, I want to become successful really fast. What the heck are successful people doing? I went out and messaged Melanie Mitro. I was like, okay, you're number 2 in the company and you probably won't see this message, but how do you do it? Like, how do you add to your network? And she said the same thing. You just have to figure out how to get more people. The more eyes on your information, the more success you'll have. And that's the basics of marketing. You have to have more eyes on what you have to offer and who you are as a coach. You're marketing yourself. So you have to become really epically good at personal development. I have read almost every business development book I can get my hands on, and I'm still reading tons of personal development. So every single day, I'm just a machine of the vital behaviors. And that's the best thing to do, is just, I mean, if you are like, I don't know what else to do, I've done all my things today. Well, then go on YouTube and research, how can I add more people to my Facebook? Go on YouTube and search how to do Instagram shout outs, how to add to Instagram. Go on YouTube and research, okay, so how to become a better leader. And you're going to always have something to do if you're always trying to master those key behaviors. So, I think I was supposed to do a Q&A too, right?
If you want to.
Sure, I can